What is going on, guys? It is Rexsi here. Today we're back once again with another Wars of Ranked Duel. Now today we are going to be doing something a little different than usual. I haven't done this in a very long time, but some people were asking that I do sort of a play-by-play analysis of my game. Now, unfortunately, the recording went bad during this one, and this was a game versus easily the #1 ranked ANHUR player on the planet currently, or for a long time. He's won countless tournaments. He is the guy who beat me during the that Duel tournament that I played from a little while ago, and there was like an ANHUR tournament with professionals and all the top duelers, and he ended up winning it, like an ANHUR mirror tournament. Renowned ANHUR player as well as Sylvanas player, I'd say. Pringles is a friend of mine. But I thought I would do a play-by-play analysis on this game because it was a really intense game. It was a really good game on both sides. And, you know, some people were asking for it. So I thought, you know, those of you who are newer to Duel and you're looking for sort of like an easier, more in-depth tutorial that isn't like 80 minutes long like my Duel guide, I would do this for you. Now, before this video starts, though, I just want to mention, because I forgot to mention it during my previous videos, that I am currently doing a huge giveaway for Into the AM. On my Instagram. If you go to instagram.com/NickRexi, or you just click, you know, like Nick Rexi, you just bada boom bada bing, click that. You will be linked to this post here, and pretty much I'm going to be giving away $200 worth of Into the AM gift cards. Into the AM is an awesome clothing company. They have tons of cool stuff, and they're one of my biggest sponsors. And I have $200 worth of gift cards to give away. I'm going to be giving away $50 each to the 4 winners. And to enter, all you have to do is like this post on Instagram. Make sure you are following my Instagram account and comment just any emoji that you like at all, like anything you want, for a chance to win. It's completely free. I just wanted to, you know, show Instagram some love because I don't really do giveaways on Instagram very often. So be sure to enter that, please, if you haven't already. It would be much appreciated, and good luck to everyone. Anyways, let's get to it. Let's go into an in-depth analysis as to how this game goes. Okay, so pause. To start with, I started with 1 mana potion as well as 3 health potions, obviously, because as well as bracer, because you know, starting blue, you get tons of mana to work with. I'm gonna stick on player for now. You get tons of mana that you can work with from these early game stages, just from blue buff alone. So I like to go just 1 blue potion and then 3 health. You could also go 2 multis depending on your character. Like some ADCs, for example, like to go multis. I'm not sure if he did it. He did the exact same start I did, for example. So he jumped my 2, as you can see there. The early game stages aren't going to be too interesting, but I am playing a much lower tier character, as you can very clearly imagine. So I try to get as much gold as I can. I'm going to back off, let the archers push up. He's got more pressure than me. Just letting that HP 5 heal me there. Hit my 3, into the 2, with an auto cancel in between to get some poke. Jump on him with 1 more auto attack just for some poke. Since I know I'm already going to be out cleared, I might as well go for some poke. And he's already used his impale. So right now, I'm just trying to get some damage onto these archers here. I'm not going to actually engage on him here. Is a lie. I had bracer, so I actually went on him there. I forgot. My bad. Okay, I just got invited in game. I already contradicted myself. Yeah, I kind of baited myself by doing that, but it wasn't a huge deal regardless because I still have a lot of pressure. I've continuously had pressure on this entire time. Unfortunately, I had to use my brace on that engagement. But my main goal right now, especially as an assassin, is because since I know I'm going to be out-pressured, or out-cleared rather, I'm just going to quickly, you know, I knew his impale was down. Okay, so right there, I knew his impale was down, so I jumped on him. Alright, so yeah, I'm going for poke, right? So I get pressured out, I have to use my bracer, alright? Right here in this particular engagement, for example, right? I'm literally paying super attention to how close I am to 5, right? Now, boom. I'm going to tap this creep, and then I'm going to jump because I know that creep's going to die, and I predicted that he would impale, right? Jump on him for the slow. Try and get an auto attack in. Get it in. And where he's going to land, I'm going to place my ult. Now, I don't think I can actually kill here, but in doing so, I was able to actually bait his beads because he thought my 2 was up when it actually wasn't. My goal there was just to bait that beads and get it off of him. Getting on a cooldown for him is really important. So I'm going to back here as soon as possible. I have 1,000 gold in hand, so I'm able to get tier 2 boots, as you can see. just for that extra little bit of mobility. I'm gonna make sure that my game isn't too loud. Extra bit of mobility, as well as some potions to work with. We were both on the exact same playing field. Unfortunately, my bracer's down. He did the same thing I've been doing, going for poke. He had a really good pillar right there, which actually made it so he was able to block the damage of my 2. So during these waves, I can very clearly see that I'm getting out-pressured. So my goal right now is to let the minions push up and let him get red, because I'm just going to go for other buffs. So I'm going to go and try and do that and secure as much gold as I can, just using my 3 on that. I actually end up jumping in here just to try and get some blast hits, and then immediately disengage. Pringles does a really smart move right there, which almost gets me killed. And that was, he timed, basically he timed, so instead of like, Pringles is very unpredictable because he uses his pillar in a very interesting manner. So basically, I jump in, right? And then I immediately plan on disengaging. But what Pringles does, is instead of going for like the impale, is he immediately places his 1 down, auto-cancels straight into an ultimate, to try and get as much DPS as he can, and then maybe go for 1 more auto, or a 2. My pathing puts me right along this side, so I'm as far away as I can get from him, and he unfortunately misses his 2. So I'm able to back. Honestly, that wasn't worth the risk. I knew I was going to lose red regardless, so what I do here is I just run up. But on the bright side, I actually decide to just use a few abilities on the wave and then pressure myself straight to red, making him back off completely, which is really good for us. I jumped over here because I wasn't actually sure where he was. So yeah, just like that, we're able to secure red. And right now we are actually closing up on a lead because of that, because we have so much to rotate to. Like, if you pay attention to everything I have to rotate to, I have my back. Blue, there's mids I can rotate to. I have so many options, really. So rotating appropriately on farm is very important. I'm going to back here because I have enough for my full tier attack speed boots. I already have attack speed boots. Second tier Transcendence. Then I'm going straight back to lane. My bracer is up for the next engagement. I'm keeping that in mind. Trying to make sure I get soak up all the XP as possible. So right here, and then I'm going to rotate to these back camps just because they're up. If you see something's up on the map and there's not a wave you have to rotate to, then that should be your go-to plan. I'm jumping on him here because I have my ult up, right? I'm just trying to pressure him out because I know his beats are probably still down. I got him playing back here, especially since he's at half mana. So boom, pop off the ult. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get anything off of that. Baited his ult by jumping him on like that. Got some 2 for some DPS. And I actually force him out to back here. In doing so, I clear 1 more wave. I do, and then I rotate to mids, because mids are the next viable thing that are up. And then I go straight back to base. I don't actually have enough for full tier Transcendence or anything, but in doing so, I've actually given myself quite a decent little lead with all the pressure that we have. So we'll just keep this up. I'm just going to skip through the parts where we just move up. But as you can see, I'm rotating to things just as they spawn, or I try to. But at the same time, I'm making sure that I'm not losing experience. Right here, I'm going to make sure I pick up speed. From this point on, I actually decide to go more for speed than for red. Now that was really... Pringles is annoyingly good with his pillars. I actually get pressured out there. I'm just trying to do some DPS on him and then disengage. Since I know I'm not going to be able to fight him here, and I know his pillar's down, I'm just going to back immediately. I can't afford anything new, but having more health for the next fight is really important, especially since I know I'm not going to be able to clear him or anything. Unfortunately, he is gaining a ton of pressure onto my my tower here, which sucks. But in doing so, I've actually baited him to stay around and not go straight to the red because he didn't have a timer, right? So now I'm just carefully playing around the fact that he didn't know that red was up. So I actually placed a ward right there. He actually backsteps that, which was like a really good juke. The way he did that. I'm just going for poke, just throwing stuff out there. My 2's up, so I just go and smack him with it, knowing I'm not going to clear him. That's one thing about Assassins, though. If I go for pressure and trying to get some kills... So right here, I realize that he's going to go immediately for red, right? So I don't have much of an option. I know I'm losing that XP. It's probably not actually worth to rotate to. But you'll see what I do here is actually really smart. Unfortunately, I missed the 3, right? But I was able to bait him really hard with my movement right here. That right there, that bait, completely caught him off guard. I disengage again, making him waste his impale. Right now I know, in this situation, if I angle it properly like this, right? Based on where I see him on the map, he cannot actually see me. He thinks I'm full committing to this red. So what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to where he is. So the second that I hear him commit to this, I jump on him immediately. Get an auto in, and then my 2 comes up just in time for the first play. So unfortunately, I did miss that wave, but I played it appropriately. I knew I was mainly trying to bait his beats and see if I could, you know, find any opportunities off of it. Unfortunately, I did have to brace her, the red buff there, but it's all fine. First split, 100% worth. We got ourselves an even bigger lead. We are not going to miss the wave. We got Transcendence completely online now, and I'm just waiting for second tier defense. Unfortunately, in doing so, I was a little late to the wave, which actually makes it so I lost my tower here. Knowing that I lost my tower, I said screw it. I tried to go for red. I honestly maybe should have just rotated straight for that. I thought I could get red was the thing, so I missed like a creep or 2, which was unfortunate. But blue's up. I'm gonna fucking whiff it. I hate the corners with Hunbats 3 men. Hate it. Okay, I'm gonna opt to pick up speed once again. So we're getting most of the buffs, which is really good. We have a few less Transcendence stacks than him, but that's not a huge deal considering he actually built it before us. But we actually have a nice XP lead going here, and that's why I'm trying to just opt to get as much experience as I can. So although I should be more ahead in gold, it's the fact that he's an ADC and he's been able to pressure out and pressure at my tower more, so that I'm not getting as much gold. But I'm also gaining like a ton of levels, which is really important over him. Backsteps on my 2 again, which is really nice. I'm forced to back off here. He goes for his 1 ult once again. I know that if I rotate back this way, then he's not actually going to be able to chase me, since his jump is down. So I'm going to take the long way around, make sure I still get this experience at all costs, and then immediately back to base. So, still a level up. I'm paying like crucial attention to when his beads are coming up and stuff like that, because one huge important thing in Duel is definitely to make sure you're paying attention to relic timers and stuff. Beads or Bracer and Thorns, like, you should normally be under the assumption that most of the time they're gonna be up, right? They're gonna be up. Majority of the time, those things are gonna be up. So right here, this is important. I see him. I know he didn't see me. By the way he was looking, he looked back to see if I was there, right? So I take the long rotation up, since he thinks I would come from this direction or this direction. Instead, I come from straight behind him. Knowing that his beats are still down for just a tiny bit, I try and get some poke off as much as possible, because he just impaled, so I caught him off guard. Go for the pressure, he tries to slow me. I unfortunately missed the last auto attack, but I'm able to secure that last hit with a jump as I followed him. So, making sure I group up all the minions. My main goal at the moment, which is kind of pissing me off, is that I can't get his tower. That's the one thing about playing Assassins, is although you're going to get a lot of pressure, if you play it correctly like I have been, and it's like very difficult compared to playing a hunter, you know. I'm gonna miss out on gold, and I'm not gonna get any tower pressure because look, he's already respawned. So I can't even go and try pressure at that tower. Now, unfortunately, I think I fucked up and left a creep there for the red, which sucks. It's gonna affect my XP per 5 here, but it also makes it so he can't actually pick up the red. So I remember realizing this a little bit in. Okay, so we got almost a 1,000 gold lead. We're quite a bit ahead in XP. We're about 2 levels up, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're rocking a nice 2-level lead. Next, I'm going into Hydras, although it would probably be more worth to go into a pen item like Crusher. I opted to go a different sort of route with the build, and that would be going for poke here. I'm going to auto into a jump, just get as much pressure as possible. I actually got his ult off of that, but since I'm so far ahead, he doesn't do enough damage. So I'm able to keep that pressure on him and force him to back off. Now, I'm opted to go Hydras here before I go into my pen item, because I originally wanted to go Crusher into Hydras or Crushers into Titan's Bane, but I decided instead I really want to get max CDR as soon as possible. Because if I can do that, then I can proc those ults off as soon as possible between engagements. And a Hydra's passive is good in general, and since I'm ahead, you know, there's a little more flexibility. Of course, pen would be a little better here, but I thought I would just chill, just not over-aggress too much until my lead is sufficient enough to the point where I can, you know, afford to get that Titan's Bane. Because once I get Titan's Bane, then the Hydra's is going to be super worth once we get to that stage of the game. And I'm ahead enough so that it doesn't really matter, although it would be better to get pen. So we're good. Good friggin' 3 levels up. We're like closer to 2.5, so gets 15 off of this. Just going for as much pressure as possible. I did whiff my jump a little bit, but I'm just going for poke. Just trying to smack him out. Pressure him as much as possible. He's actually forced to sit under his tower here and defend it, because my goal right now is to just go for that tower as much as possible. Okay. So the next wave is coming up. Red's actually going to spawn here because someone killed the mini. So yeah, I am just looking for all the poke in the world. Farm is down. So I'm just chilling, waiting for that red buff to respawn, since there's not much else to get on the map. Maybe his backs. But all in all, big buff's pretty worth. If you guys are enjoying this sort of commentary style, by the way, I know it's a little more directed on the gameplay, and I'm not really focusing on other things. But if you do enjoy this style, or you have some thoughts, please leave me a comment and leave me a like if you enjoyed. And, you know, if you do enjoy the videos, make sure you tap that subscribe button for more content like this. I upload twice a day. Why is my display capture still on? That explains a lot. Okay. So now I have both relics up. I know his are up as well. No, this is where I left a freaking minion. That's where it was on red. So yeah, he's just trying to farm up as well. There's only so much you can go for, though. I'm just going straight for him. I actually ult there immediately, because where he lands, because I'm trying to get his beads off as soon as possible, because I know that I can't really commit to a fight unless his beads are down. Like, I can, but it's gonna make things like 10 times more difficult. So he would have to actually predict exactly what I'm gonna ult for him to be able to ult my ult, right? Which is a lot harder for him. Okay. Now we're moving up. So now, that was like my main goal, right? So I have Hydras online, and I'm dancing, as you can see. Give him a little dance. So now, in the next engagement, when I have at least second tier Titan's Bane, I'll have some pen going, as well as that Hydras, and his ult will be down, right? So next engagement is prime time. So I'm trying to use that to my advantage. So although I may have a tower down, it may look like I'm playing a little bit from behind, I still have a tremendous amount of pressure. I'm still 2 levels up pretty much here, but I know I have to seal the deal soon, because if we get late game, it's it's gonna be a lot harder for me. So I know his impale's down, and he ults immediately. Unfortunately, my 3 didn't connect to him like I thought it would, and I used up my thorns, but he ulted as well, and I know his beads are still down. So I'm gonna time my jump, predict where he goes. He hits a nice impale, but I ult at the exact same time. My 3, unfortunately, hits the wall. I braced those autos behind the wall so that he doesn't actually see me do it. I jump to get the slow off on him. He hits that again. I hit my 3 into an auto, and I'm actually able to get the kill. Unfortunately, these walls on this map are fucking annoying as all hell on Hunbats. I don't know why, but half the shit, like, it just stops the animation, and it's really, really, really frustrating to play and get screwed over because of it, because that kill would have been 10 times easier had that hit. Now, my original plan, if I had a little more health there, if I had lost less health, I would have tagged the tower a tiny bit to the point where it would have gotten the tower, the minions would have gotten the tower, and I would have went for Bull Demon as they went for the tower, so that when the tower died, I'd be able to get Bull Demon. But I realized that with Hydras, I'm actually able to utilize those procs and get Phoenix super early right after I got that tower. So I'm actually backing off. Right here, I do a bit of a risky play. I wasn't sure if he'd move up, but he sees me going for this red. I thought I would try and secure red as soon as possible, just so he can't actually pick it up, and then immediately go away. I get his ult out, and I'm actually kind of panicking here. So I'm running for my life. I hear him jump, and I immediately just turn to ult, and then just jump away, and I'm actually safe. So my ult is down, but that's fine, because ulting out, you know, there's a chance he would have beatsed it, but I think he would have realized that, oh, well, his beats are down, but had he beats that, he would have actually put himself completely out of position for the last fight for his Titan. So, you know, like risk over reward here. So his beats are actually up for the next engagement. I know that because I didn't hear him beats. We have full tier Titan's Bane. We are in a prime spot to end the game here. We're moving up with an entire fire wave. We have full tier Titan's Bane, both thorns up at least. Feeling good, feeling confident. We got almost 2 waves worth here. Our ultimate is down, but we're trying to like pressure up as much as possible. Get some poke out if we can. Try to move those fire waves up. Try to exploit the bullshittiness of the fire creeps. Good poke onto him. Actually try and bait him out with our 3 heroes, hoping that would actually hit him. But I know I'm not going to be able to kill him, so I just go for as much Titan damage as possible, knowing that there's a creep there. It shouldn't reset. And then we back off. And just regroup for the next engagement. I know his bees are still up. I still have both relics up for the next engagement. My main goal, the unfortunate thing is that if you're playing Hunbats, you have to just keep on relying on hoping you can get that that beads out of him, right? Like, my main goal in every single engagement is to just attempt to try and get that beads out of him. So right here, he actually predicted I was going to ult. I mean, I made it a little obvious, right? And unfortunately, I reset the Titan. I go back in after the fear reprocs on him, and he actually panics and shells, which is really good. Unfortunately, it's just not enough, though, so we go and pressure the Titan a little more, knowing that that wave's going to move up there so it doesn't actually reset it. And we're trying to back off as soon as possible. There's 2 waves, so he cannot chase me. He has to stop those waves, or they're going to end the game. So my main goal right now, I wasn't actually even able to get his beach in that engagement, but I did get his shell. So right now, I know that he has to clear those. As you can see by his HP, he's half, so he's going to have to clear those creeps and then go back. So I have time to just immediately rush down the Bull Demon. So immediately, I do this as fast as possible, utilizing my Hydra's procs every single time. I'm actually building into a Crusher last item because he doesn't have any lifesteal or anything, and it's a nice bit of flat pen. Along with that additional attack speed, it's very useful. Okay, and then we're gonna move up. Snowball, I didn't even know you were up there. Okay, we're gonna move up, knowing that his Phoenix is currently under Bull Demon. Now we need to hurry and try and pressure this as much as possible, because it's getting closer to late game, and the closer it gets, the worse it's going to get for us. So, knowing that, I need to try and get his beads out as soon as possible, because I know they're still up. So I'm whiffing out abilities, trying to do poke. I'm just disengaging till that 3's up again, because it's my easiest way to get close to him. Hit the 1 on him. Try to bait something out of him here. Got his ult. And then boom, immediately time my ult for when that runs out, which scares him enough to back off, because he knows he has to be a little careful here, because he is behind. He is still a little bit behind. So he doesn't want to risk it, and he actually backs off and allows me to get the Phoenix. So yeah, when I teleported onto him there, he thought I was immediately going to ult. So instead, I held onto it and then used it the moment that his ult ran out. So this next engagement decides it. This next engagement decides the game. His beads are down. I have both relics up for the next engagement. And he doesn't have beads, but he does have shell coming up. So I know I have full tier Crusher. So my strategy is right now, fire creeps are pretty broken. Snowball is on my lap just chilling. And what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for another wave to come up, and I'm not actually pushing up the waves. I'm waiting for them to group together so I have the strength of 2 waves on my side. Hello, Snowball. And as you can see, they are moving up. So now I'm just trying to pressure him out, whiffing out 3s, using them to my advantage to close that gap. I know he misses his impale, so in doing so, I slow him, and I force him to jump over this way. Now, what I do here is I throw my 3, I unfortunately miss. I thought that hit, to be honest. I thought that hit. I Thorn's a little late. He has good positioning for my ults. He has an upgraded shell. Unfortunately, I would have been fine had my bracer went off, dude. But instead, the bracer wasn't actually able to pop off. If we're to relook at that engagement and how I could have won off of that engagement, let's pay close attention. What I should have done is instead, when he ulted right here, I should have just ran away. I shouldn't have turned back into this. Like, my goal was to just Thorns and then run straight at him, but what would have been way smarter and way easier, safer on me, would have been to just literally stop, retreat to my wave, drink up some health potions, and just get ready. All I would have had to have done. Literally all I would have had to do in that engagement. I would have been able to line up for a better ult. His ultimate would have been down. He couldn't have used that to his advantage. But instead, I risked it. Unfortunately, he had good positioning for his ult, and he actually was able to proc his shell off beforehand. So I wasn't even able to get Hydra's procs off. All those Hydra's procs actually took away so much of my DPS. Had I used my entire plan, like his ult was down for this entire fire wave, I had so much going for me. But instead, I risked it for the biscuit, which would have tasted the exact same had I just been smart and played that appropriately. But his beats are probably up for the next engagement, which I know this, and in doing so... Whoa, what the hell, that transition? Okay, let's move up to the next engagement. Okay. Am I spawning yet? Okay, there I am. So I actually buy a 500 potion. Because why not? Just get an extra bit of damage. So he actually doesn't see me when he turns this corner, so I immediately pop off my ult. just to get his beads, and then I'm looking to disengage. So I hit my 3, and then I try and run away, but at this point, he's already got Eggsy, so that's just 2 auto attacks that did that much to me. So I back off, I hear him jump, so I brace her for my cooldowns, and then turn up for my 2. So it's just come off cooldown. I'm gonna try and disengage a little bit. I know it's now or never. I jump in on him, and unfortunately his positioning, he actually follows back a little bit like that, and locks me into a corner by slowing me and going for an impale, which was well played on his part, which screws me. I should have positioned my jump a little better, but he actually predicted it, backed up towards the wall, placed his 1, and secured his 2 for himself. So now his Phoenix is actually coming up on a whim very soon here, and he's actually pushing up. So now he has Azzy, so I actually decide to build straight into that beat stick rather than the crusher. I try and go for some poke on the wave. It has hit late game to the point where in just a few autos, he is able to poke me out to that degree. Actually get an ult off. I'm just trying to poke him out in the slightest and then disengage to try and save that Phoenix if I can. So I'm backing off, healing up, and unfortunately my blue's up, so what he's going to do is he's just going to constantly pressure my blue and use it as basically his own fountain. So that every time I get out pressured in engagement. Look at that. That was like maybe 2 autos, maybe 3. I'm not even sure. But he's going to use that, so I'm just going to jump in. Thorns, just go for some poke, and then immediately disengage. Try my best to run away. I'm obviously not going to go in there. And I'm backing to base, but unfortunately, he is a hunter, and he has Azzy, so like I said, blue buff is just his fountain. So unlike me having to go all the way back, he's able to just pressure it out like that. And basically, it's like I'm not even able to poke him out now, to the point where it's kind of unplayable, because it's gotten to this point, and he has lifesteal, and unfortunately, that's just how it goes as an assassin. I'm able to bait his shell when I teleport it in there. If they go back there, I'll block this really quickly. So I throw my... actually, I think I back off here again. Yeah, this is the Thorns engagement, and then I go back to base. And then he heals up, and he's able to just get my Phoenix. So my Burster's actually up. I just try and do some damage to him. So yeah, I'm just going for poke, trying to clear the waves. He's able to just completely heal to full. Use that creep to teleport to him. I Hydra's proc, and then am able to actually bait his shell and then immediately disengage. I jump back on knowing his shell's about to run out. I ult, but he ults my ult. Well played. My 3 unfortunately misses. Brace it for some cooldowns. He blocks that with his 1. I'm kind of caught up in a tight place here, but I knew that at that point there was so little that could be done. Unfortunately, one little engagement can throw the game with such a lead like that. It's unfortunate. But I did mess up, of course. There were things that I could have done to help me win that game had I played it a little better. But I still think that I played really well, especially considering the matchup and everything. I had a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed watching the video, though, and you have any feedback, comments, things you'd like me to do, change, commentary styles, little notes you'd like me to hear, leave them in the comments below. Like the video if you're new. Subscribe if you enjoyed. It would really help me out. We're almost at 125,000. I will see you next video, guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.